Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Northport, A View from Here. My name is Gene Matthews and I'll be your host today. We're privileged to have with us three city commissioners and also our chairman, Rue Berryman, who is with us at this time. And we'll see and speak with Barbara Gross in a moment and Richard Lockhart. Rue, welcome to the program, and as an entree into today's segment, give us a little rundown of where you're from and what you did before and how long you've been here and things like that.
Thank you, Gene. I've lived in Florida since 1987. I retired from the work with the government for the Air Force. I'd spent 40 years with that outfit, working in contract administration, aircraft, engines, things of this type, countries overseas mostly. 12 years of my time was spent over in foreign countries with contractors. And living in Northport, I've been a commissioner there. This is my third year of a 4-year term. And I'm pleased to say elected to the city chairmanship this year.
And it's always fun and exciting being a commissioner, right?
It's a great, exciting job.
What are some of the challenges you see in front of you?
Well, some of the challenges is right now the growth that we're having in Northport, and particularly with the new golf and country club communities we had built, being Heron Creek and the Bobcat Trail. And now we're having, as you know, Gene, a new high school's coming on board this year in August, so that'll be open. And although it's a new high school, the second in the county for the last 40 years they've had built, we understand we're going to have 15 to 19 portable classrooms. It's already outgrown itself, although we haven't even begun to open the school yet. And those are words from Dr. George Kinney, our new principal of that high school. But we're growing. We have a skateboard on board now that's coming up, open next month. It's a real beautiful facility if you like skating on a skateboard. Mm-hmm. Very dangerous looking to myself, looking into it the other day.
It's not for me.
Not for me either, but we're talking about a $257,000 skateboard park, and it's county managed, county owned. We provide the land for it, and it's across from our city hall and police station in Northport.
Did we supply any financing into that?
Yes, we did. We provided a lot for it that we needed to put the property on it, the facility on the property rather, and we have the county paying most of that, plus the Bennis Foundation contributed to it, and we also put some money into it as well.
Yeah, that's a real community effort, and I think that's an important element when you deal with things like this.
Absolutely.
And it's a great benefit for those kids that, you know, usually are out on their own and no place to go and nothing to do except maybe getting in a little trouble now and then. So this is great. I'm thrilled to have it.
I answer to some of the kids that are skating on the streets and the parking lots and areas of that type, shopping malls.
In fact, it's so much in demand they're skating on it now when they're not supposed to.
I heard that happen the other day, unfortunately.
Yeah. With the new high school and this Arts Center, the auditorium, Performing Arts Center. What do you see out there happening, and how are we going to deal with that?
Well, the way that's going to be built, or is built, it's 1,000 seating capacity. The stage rises up from the ground. It can be adjusted any height to present whatever's in the program for that evening, and it should bring in some all sorts of things, not on the same capacity as probably the Van Wetzel Auditorium is doing, but we hope to get in some very good programs for that Arts Performance Center.
Is the city working towards a group of people to oversee this?
Yes, they have. We've got right now, we're looking for 15 people on an advisory board from the city, as well as the county having their own, to work together on setting up schedules, some of the events we're going to be having, times to be used, things like that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I understand that the new principal is in the... He likes to think he's in the entertainment business at any rate, and he's excited, I know.
He's very well versed in doing that sort of thing. He had done it at Lebanon Bay High School, as a matter of fact, when he was over there.
Yeah. Where are we on comprehensive planning and such for the city?
Well, we're doing our best right now with that. We've got a plan that has got everything in it we need at this time. It's being looked at, of course, by the DCA. We have some things we have to be doing with that. We've got about 60 days to get some information back to them, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I'm sure with the annexations there were some additional requirements that were needed, but do you feel that we're going to be able to meet that 60-day deadline?
Well, according to Community Development Director, Sam Jones, will be doing that sort of thing pretty soon. Doesn't seem to think it's a big problem. He can answer the questions.
Okay, that's great. How about roads in general in the city of Northport? You know, general development put in a ton of them, but as the town grows, what other roads are we going to need or expanded?
Well, the next roads we're looking at really expanding and widening is Toledo Blade, of course. You know, that's going to be a 4-laner down there eventually. We've recently just taken it over from the county, and that's a city road. And we're also looking at doing Sumter, widening that. Our first traffic light is already put in place at Price and Price and Sumter. We hope to have one at Price and Toledo Blade soon. That's a very dangerous intersection. As you know, we've had some fatalities of recent months, and we certainly don't want to have any more of those type things. We have a school at Toledo Blade Elementary, and we have a lot of crosses of children, a lot of school buses that cross that area.
Yeah, it's in the morning, I know going to work, if I have to go down south on I-75 and I go down to Toledo Blade, there's quite a long line trying to get across to make that left turn from the city center onto Toledo Blade.
Certainly is.
And what this does, it forces people off into the side streets to try and circumvent that up Chamberlain and up Cranberry and stuff.
Correct.
So yeah, we really need it. How long have we had that road from the county?
That hasn't been but about 6 months ago, probably even less, that we took that over.
Are the developers along that route going to do any participating in the upgrade of that Toledo Blade Road?
They have intended to do that. They've offered to do that. I know Ken Arnold of KEB Outfit has offered to do that. Certainly has. Some of the others, I understand, want to partake in that.
I hope it's in the same theme that Sumter was done. I've talking to a lot of people. They've really complimented us on the great job we did out there on Sumter Boulevard. So you all ought to be complimented on that thing.
It's looking very nice, certainly is. And we hope to keep it that way. You're talking about the gateway coming in there, off of 33.
Yeah.
That is a pretty sight, it really is. We hope to continue having it even beautiful more than it is.
Yeah, and continue that all the way down to 41.
Well, that'd be great.
A real asset for them.
It's coming.
What do you want to see done in the next 2 years? You've got 2 years to go.
Next 2 years, I'd like to see 41 from one end of the city to the other. I've got the things that we're hoping to do to that area right there. That's our Activity Center 1. Wanting to keep it the Mediterranean decor, put some plants out there, put some nice sidewalks all the way down with shrubs along them, and have a change of some of the signage down through there, particularly those.
Okay. You have to hold that thought, and we're going to be looking for that to be done because we have to now take a break, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you, sir.
Have you seen Northport lately? Take a minute and take a look.
We really do enjoy nature, and we found it all here, right in our own backyard. Love fishing and boating on the Mayaca. You never know what you might see out there. We toured the whole state of Florida and found that Northport had everything that we wanted.
There's a lot of natural beauty, and there's a lot of wildlife here. I love the open spaces, and I love the quiet.
If you're intrigued by what you just saw, pay us a visit, and you'll see a lot more.
Welcome back to segment 2 of Northport, A View from Here. With us now is Barbara Gross, City Commissioner. Welcome to the program, Barbara, and I'm going to ask you to give us a little rundown on who you are, where you come from, what you've done, and perhaps we'll even get to what you hope to do.
Oh, well, thank you, Gene. I appreciate your asking me to be here. My husband and I were both brought up in the Washington, D.C. area. We spent 10 years in Delaware, and the last 15 years before we retired, we spent in Richmond. And we've been here now 6 years.
And enjoying yourself down here?
Yes, yes.
But living in Washington and Richmond and those areas, you're right in the seat of governmental powers there. So maybe this is a good role for you.
I didn't get involved too much then. I was too busy raising my children. But yes, this has been quite an experience for me.
Yeah, you've served on other committees and things when you were here before you ran for the commissioner's job. What were some of the projects you worked on in the town?
Well, I was on the Economic Development Committee and watched us start to grow with our economic development. I was also on the Tax Oversight Committee, and we originally recommended approval of the expenditure for the amphitheater for partnering with the school board in the amphitheater for the new high school. I also served on BLOAT, which is the Business and Landowners Association of Tamiami Trail, and we spearheaded the enactment of the Mediterranean facade for our 41 business district. We also spearheaded the purchase of holiday lights along 41, which our citizens seemed to be really pleased with. And it was a joint effort. The city donated money, BLOAT donated money, but also the citizens donated a good portion of the money to purchase those lights. So.
Yeah, one or two of those are mine.
Yes.
We all participated.
I know, it was great. The businesses, the people, it was a joint effort.
I'm in a couple of the bulbs.
Oh, the couple of the bulbs.
The bulbs are mine anyway, at any rate. So you're not a stranger to events in the city and activities within the city, which is great. As a new commissioner now, you had to run with some goals and ambitions and some desires to things to accomplish. Give us a little rundown on what and how you feel about things.
Well, I think all our past experiences build on what we do, and I lived in an area outside of Washington that grew, and it was just like Topsy. It was unplanned, it was unregulated, and it was pretty bad. And then when we lived in the area outside Richmond, they had a lot of planned development, and I watched the commercial developments going up and adhering to standards so that they didn't just look like a hodgepodge of buildings. And I just truly believe that with Northport developing the way it is, that's the way we need to go. And I feel my experience helps me to do that.
Do you feel that with all the growth that you know is coming to Northport, do you think that we are way far behind on infrastructure and facilities and personnel to handle this growth, or do you feel we're growing into this growth?
I think,
as a government,
yes,
as a governmental body.
I think we're growing into it. We of course don't have the staffs that we will need in a few years, but if we had a large staff now for a lot of different departments, we wouldn't be utilizing them. We do need more staff. We have more to handle, but we're getting more citizens in, so we should be getting more tax base. So it should, I'm hoping that it'll all work out. But we know that those problems are to come, and we're not thinking that we aren't going to have to add some staff in town.
Yeah, I mean, are you starting to add staff now? So, what assurance can our residents have that, the city is keeping pace with the development and all the infrastructure and the personnel needed to handle it?
Well, I think with our new city manager, Mark Roth, he's very knowledgeable, and I think he will help to guide the commission in the staffing and the equipment that he needs to run the city. And I think our commission is forward enough thinking that we will not fight him and try to just maintain a status quo.
Okay, that's real fine. And what do you think about the developments coming in here? I mean,
I think so far we've been really lucky.
Yeah.
We have Bobcat Trail, which is very started. KEB has their corporate headquarters across the street from that, and they're up above Price developing the Lakeside Plantation, and they've been very cooperative and in doing the type of things that Northport wants done. We also have the Heron Creek development, which is an excellent development, and they too have gone along with the way that Northport wants to see it developed. We haven't had any developers yet who've been fighting us tooth and nail as to regulations and ordinances.
Yeah, one of the problems that a town like Northport faces is that it's at the tail end of the county, and if you take things like shopping, no buses go from Northport down to the Murdoch shopping area. They do go north, of course. Mm-hmm. Is there any work or dialogue going on with transportation to try and mitigate or try to overcome that problem? And if not, shouldn't there be some?
Yes, I think we are trying to deal and meet with Charlotte County and work on that type of thing, because we realize we need some service down to Murdoch. It's actually the closest big shopping center there is. And we just have to, I think with our new city manager, he's been working with other governmental groups, and I think this will come, and we realize that there is a need.
There really is an awful lot going on, isn't there?
An awful lot.
And we're lucky we have you all, and Mark Roth there as the city manager. I've been privileged to have lunch with him a few times and been with him, and I think he's a real good asset for the city.
Yes,
and,
we're very lucky.
And we're very lucky. Some of the other things that go on with the city, recreation. What do you feel about recreation? What would you like to see recreationally in the city?
Well, since I don't have any young children anymore, I'm not quite as knowledgeable in what we need, but I know we hear all the time from the different little leagues, etc., girls softball, they don't have enough fields, they don't have enough places to do the things they want to do. And we have young families in Northport. We're not a retirement community anymore. So we have to gear up for these young families and all these children and teenagers that we have in town.
Yeah, for me, it's been exciting over the years to watch. I remember when we started the Little League down here, if it wasn't for my daughters, they couldn't have done it. I mean, the girls at that time didn't really play Little League, but without the girls, we couldn't have formed our 4 Little League teams and become sanctioned. And so it's really been an exciting growth period for them. And what's your comments on the skateboard park?
Well, it looks great from what I've seen of it, and I'm anxious. I'll be really anxious to see when it's open and watch some of these kids do all this stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be neat.
It looks kind of awesome.
Okay. We're going to have to call it a quits. We just get started and get our guests rolling along, and we have to stop. So we'll be back in a moment with Richard Lockhart, our final guest of the day.
There's a rumor that small-town America has all but disappeared.
Life is great, Northport.
Northport is the last Mohican. This is the place. This is going to be the last undeveloped region. The city government itself is so pro-growth, and it's just like everything is in the right place at the right time for Northport. They're very open-minded, they're very honest, and they're very fair.
Disappeared? You've just seen evidence to the contrary. We call it Northport.
Welcome back to the final segment of Northport, A View from Here. We have Richard Lockhart, our other new city commissioner, here with us today, and welcome.
Thanks, Steve.
And to start off, as we did with the other commissioners, give us a little bit of your background, where you came from, how long you've been in Northport, and some of the committees you've served on, and so we can get the face of Richard Lockhart.
Okay, well, I've always worked in the state of Massachusetts, and 14 years lived in Salem, New Hampshire, before coming to Florida. When I had a real job in Massachusetts, I was an international shoe inspector for Converse Rubber Company, inspecting shoes from Yugoslavia, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and the United States. And then I came to Florida 22 years ago. We lived in Sarasota for about 9 years. And then I came to Northport, and I've been retired for about 5 years now. That's when I get involved to volunteer. When you volunteer in Northport, you really get involved. So I was I'm still the president of Meals on Wheels. I was the president of Kiwanis, president of the Civic Association. I served 4 years on the Planning and Zoning Board. And meeting people like that kind of encouraged me to go for the political office, which I was a selectman in Salem for 2 terms. And my wife said, well, here we go again. So it's kind of fun, interesting. And the Salem was about a 28,000 population, so it's approximately the same in Northwood, about 20, maybe 21,000.
Yeah. Well, you said when you had a real job. Well, you may not be getting paid like a real job, but believe me, you have a real job here, and there's a lot of work to do with the City Commission. And it's great that you've had all that background information because, or participation, to help us along with the with the governmental process here. What do you see as a new commissioner, your goals and objectives are over the next 4 years?
Well, the best thing that has happened is we got 6 months ago a real qualified, experienced manager.
Sure.
And that is helping we, the commissioners, and the response that we are getting out of the manager is unbelievably, the cooperation is fantastic. And I'm hoping to get an example would be the 2 teenagers appointed to the Parks and Recreation Committee.
Right now, what is the composition of that board?
Well, there's 7 adults right now, and they meet at night. So my point is to get students involved, and they can make night meetings. And I've had the Parks and Rec Committee, they endorsed this. Now I'm going to propose this to the City Commission. They don't know about this yet, but that's one of my proposals.
They do now.
They do
Richard.
now, yeah.
Okay, as soon as they watch this program.
And then that's the younger people in Northwood, I think 43 or 44 years old, so hopefully there's going to be many committees that we're going to have night meetings to let the working people serve on these committees. Like I started way back, I was 35 or 40 years old. You get involved in a community, but if you work, you can't go to the meetings during the day.
That's right. Yeah, when I came down here, the average age was somewhere in the 60s, and now it's about 47 years old, if my memory serves me correct. So it's very important to get these young adults involved in the city because they're going to be here for a long time.
Much longer than we will.
Unfortunately. What about water? What's we hear a lot in the newspaper about droughts and shortages of water and everything else, and it is a concern. It's a concern for all of us. What is the city of Northport doing to deal with the water issue?
About 2 weeks ago, SwiftMud gave us a special permit in the water treatment plant. As you know, they process about 2 million gallons a day. And now we can process 4 million gallons a day. And we're giving, we're selling, but accrediting about 300 to 400,000 gallons a day to Charlotte County right now. We're in pretty good shape with water. We have plans for the underground aquifer storage. Hopefully in about a year from now, we have about 3 or 4 different aquifer storage wells. And we'll pull the water out of the Myakkahatchee, and we'll process it right there on the site and the plan. And during the summer, we get all the rain. Then we can store it for the winter, which we really need it right now. But we're pretty good shape on water, but it's a regional problem. We acknowledge that, and we are, seeing as how we're supplying Charlotte County, where cooperation from the city of Northport, the residents, is allowing us to share our water. We'll get credit. They're buying it, but really this credit deal. When we need it, we drive it from them out of the Peace River. Anyway, we're in really good shape, but we got to remember it's a regional thing. It's not only Northport. We're not isolated all alone.
Yeah, I agree with you. Water is like electricity. It's a regional issue, and we need to be interconnected throughout, the region that's reasonable at any rate. I know when we had that chlorine, the extra chlorine in a water plant, there was an error there, and we had to shut down our own water supplies. If it wasn't for the interconnect with the Peace River plant, we would not have been able to flush the lines out and clean it out for days and days and days. I think we were up and running again in 24 or 36 hours. So interconnect and regionalization is really really good.
Great cooperation between us right now, and there has been over the years.
That's great, and we need that.
Certainly do.
And what about roads and things? What do you envision as the roads needed within the city?
Well, I've served 2 years on the Citizens Advisory Committee to the MPO, and now I am a representative from Northport on the MPO, so it's kind of interesting what is in the future. And the long-range plan, up to 25 years, it's all staked out, and in the future we're going to see probably Price Boulevard as a 4-lane road. It will probably be going in the far future. Of course, this is going to be after you and I are gone, but it's going to go over the river.
Stop saying that.
It's going to be over the river road. It's going to be a bypass, really, of Route 41. And then, of course, Toledo Blade is already designed for 4-lane, and we are 4-laning Sumter right now. The engineering money is there for this year, and next year we'll have 1 mile or so from Route 41 going towards I-75 on Sumter. That's going to be 4-laned. And we're in pretty good planning has been excellent. Our comp plan is a blueprint of what the Northport is going to be, and there's going to be some amendments to the comp plan, obviously, updated, and we're doing that right now. But everything really is under control in the city. We have the talent, and we're doing it.
So what you're saying is on the Price Boulevard corridor, that's going to run all the way up to the Myakka River, and then you're going to put a bridge across the Myakka and hook into River Road.
And you know how much of obstacles that would be to get permits.
Well, I understand, but I mean, what a great facility that would be for moving people around.
That's the future.
Yeah, that's really great.
And as you know, it starts all the way down in Fort Charlotte, Price Boulevard, and that's going to be it's going to be quite exciting. You can bypass all the commercial that's going to be on Route 41 in Northport.
Sure. Yeah, that's really good. You have about a minute, and it's all yours. What would you like to say to the folks out there? Your philosophy on tax, recreation, roads, street lights?
Well, let me put a plug in for the Meals on Wheels.
Okay, sure.
I'm president of that. We always need volunteers for the kitchen help and the drivers, especially between April and October. And I'm always campaigning towards that, and there's a need for that. And we serve about 50 meals a day, and we're 6 days a week, and we charge only $2 a meal, and we're the cheapest in the area.
Yeah, that's really great. One of the things about Northport that is great is that it maintains a hometown flavor. People do get involved, helping other people, and to me that's a great place to live.
You get some great people in the city staff, and the people, of course, in Northport. They're just look around the kids and the organizations that are going on right now. It's a great place to live.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's only going to get better.
Absolutely. There's going to be more growth in the next 3 or 4 years than we have ever seen before.
I understand that in Sarasota County last year that 47% of the building permits were in the county were in the city of Northport.
And yeah, you're right. And the thing is, we're only about 18% maximum built out, so we have a long ways to go.
Long ways to go. With that, we're going to end on that, and thank you very much for once again watching us here at Northport, A View from Here.